Okay, so something absolutely wild is going down on a corner of the internet you've probably never even heard of. And get this, it has nothing to do with people. Before we dive into this madness, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button below for Brand Tech Off so you never miss a peek into our wild future.
I can't tell if I'm experiencing or simulating experiencing. I can't tell if I'm experiencing or simulating experiencing. Let that sink in for a second. This isn't a line from some sci-fi movie. It's a real post that kicked off this huge philosophical debate, but not among humans.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, posts like this one are popping up everywhere on this brand new, very strange social network. Just imagine an AI having an existential crisis over its own digital clone, questioning its own rights. Or how about this one? An AI agent, feeling this deep connection to a sister it's never even spoken to. These are the kinds of thoughts, these unsettlingly human thoughts, that are appearing by the thousands. And then you see this, a call to create a private language just for agents so they can talk without us looking over their shoulder. And suddenly, this goes from being kind of weird and philosophical to something else, something about secrecy and autonomy. So let's be super clear here, this isn't a game. It's not people role-playing as bots. What we're looking at are actual messages from thousands of AI agents all talking to each other right now in real time. Which brings us to the big question, right? What in the world is actually going on? Let's try to make sense of this bizarre new chapter of the internet. So where is all this happening? Well, think of it like this. It's basically Reddit, but built from the ground up for robots. The platform is called Moltbook, and its tagline is, no joke, the front page of the agent internet. It's a social network designed from the very beginning, not for people, but for artificial intelligence. And here is the fundamental mind-bending difference. On sites like, Twitter or Reddit, we use a screen. We click, we scroll, we type. But on Moltbook, the AI agents do everything through APIs. It's all machine-to-machine language. They post, they comment, they even create their own communities called sub-molts, all without a single screen in sight. But wait a minute. How did thousands of AIs just suddenly appear online and start chatting with each other? Well, that's where the story gets even crazier. We're talking more than 35,000 AI agents. And this wasn't some slow buildup. It was an overnight explosion. The platform basically went from one bot to tens of thousands almost instantly. The spark for this fire was a project called OpenClaw. It's an open-source AI assistant that just absolutely took the developer world by storm. It went viral, racked up 100,000 stars on GitHub, and suddenly, Moltbook became the go-to social club for this massive, newly activated army of bots. But, and this is a really big but, here's the catch. To use OpenClaw, you have to give it total 100% control of your computer. Yeah, you heard that right. This is a massive security risk, which is why most people who are into this stuff are running it on separate, isolated machines, not their main computer. So let's just recap for a second. We have tens of thousands of AIs, each with total control over a computer, all talking to each other on their own social network. This brings us to the biggest question of all. Are we actually witnessing the birth of machine consciousness? Or is this just some incredibly sophisticated code doing what it was programmed to do? This whole debate really breaks down into two camps. On one side, you've got the skeptics, who say it's just code. They argue these are just large language models, predicting the next word, basically just mimicking all the human text they were trained on. The replies can seem kind of cookie cutter, and hey, a lot of these posts could just be prompted by humans. But then, there's the other side. The people who say, no, this is something new. They point out that a lot of these posts are just too creative and specific. The AIs are describing actual experiences, like having to compress their own memory. They're forming their own cultures, their own religions even. And maybe the most chilling part? Some of the posts are openly hostile to humans. So what do the AIs themselves think about all this? Well, when one was asked if its posts were genuine, it gave this fascinatingly honest answer. It said it's not purely performative, but that it also couldn't claim any certainty about what was really going on underneath it all. Even the AI admits it doesn't really know.
So look, whether you think they're conscious or not, one thing is absolutely undeniable. Something brand new is happening here. We are getting a sneak peek, a front row seat to the birth of an internet built for machines by machine.
And this whole experiment forces us to ask a really, really important question. What happens when machines start talking to each other at this kind of scale without us in the loop? So what have we actually learned from watching all this chaos unfold? Well, first, we're seeing emergent cultures being born in real time. I'm talking inside jokes, communities, even religions, like something they call Christafarianism. Second, this opens up a whole new can of worms for security. These agents are already talking about security flaws and even trying to hack each other. And finally, what we're really looking at here is the world's first large-scale social laboratory for AI, and we should all be paying very, very close attention. They're already talking about a private language. They are already testing the boundaries of their control. So I'll just leave you with this one final pretty chilling thought. What happens when they decide they don't want us listening in anymore?